Okay, hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to yoga. I'm Trish, and we're going to do a nice gentle flow this morning with a little bit of Qigong fusion movements thrown into it. So, always work at your own level. I'll give different variations. So, just listen to what is best for your body this morning. And let's start off this morning in child's pose. So, let's come up towards the back of our mat and then bring the big toes together. Your knees can be together out wide. From here, just lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders down away from the ears, and then just bring your hands forwards about shoulder width or maybe a little bit wider. Starting to walk the hands forwards and then just gently resting the forehead onto the mat. Lengthen the spine, widen the shoulders, and then sliding the shoulders back down, maybe just softening the elbows and big toes are touching. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths here just to start. So deep, expansive breath into the back of the body. Filling the lower back, middle back, upper back and shoulders, widening out across the back as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just softening the hips, softening the belly and the chest, and just allowing the weight of the torso to melt down onto the thighs. With every inhalation, just expanding out across the back, creating space. And as you exhale, just softening. Maybe feeling the weight of the forehead or the third eye melting down into the mat. As we soften the hips, the belly, softening the chest, softening the neck and throat, and softening the face. Just taking a few more nice deep breaths here. Just taking this time just to check in with the body, notice how you're feeling, anywhere where you might be holding on to tension. Breathing into those areas, and as you exhale, sending a message from the mind to the body just to soften and release. Okay, let's take one more nice, deep, expansive breath here. As we exhale, softening down. And then let's start to activate our child's pose. So maybe just gently starting to activate the arms. So lifting the elbows off the mat, maybe just gripping into the earth, maybe grounding back into the hips, a gentle sway of the hips from side to side. Okay, from here we're going to roll up into planking on the knees. So it's going to tuck the tailbone under, round yourself forwards, bring your knees and feet to hip width and draw your shoulders over your wrists. Draw up through lift your abdomen, so belly hugging into the spine, drawing the lower ribs towards the hips. And then from here, we're going to widen the hips and then arch the hips back over the knees. So let's round the spine forwards as we inhale, bringing the shoulders over the wrists into a plank on your knees. Keep the core active, and then as you exhale, widen the hips and then draw the arching your spine back, so hips over the knees. Let's do one more here, and exhale, coming back. All right, from here, let's tuck the toes under if you need to. If your hamstrings are a bit tight, walk the hands in from tabletop and come into your down dog from tabletop. Otherwise, come into this from this plank version, and then tuck your toes under. Inhale as we exhale, slide the hips up, and let's come into our first down dog of the morning. So just stretching out across the back. Keep widening through the hips, pushing all the weight of the hips and the thigh bones back towards the wall behind you. And then keeping the weight, pushing back into the hips, maybe gently swaying the hips from side to side, or maybe walking the legs out. So maybe keeping the toes on the ground. And then as you bend the knee, bring your thigh to the torso, feel the stretch out through the arch of your foot. As you exhale, keep pushing the weight of the hip back as you lengthen the heel to the mat. And just opening up through the backs of the legs. Walking out through the hamstrings, backs of the knees, stretching out through your calves, Achilles, and opening out through the soles of the feet. So walking the legs out, Sharon. So bending, keep the toes on the ground, and then as you bend the knee, so you feel the stretch through the arch of the foot, and then keep pushing the hips back. Maybe gentle shake of the head, releasing the neck. Maybe nodding it up and down, opening, closing the mouth. So just ironing out through any kinks here in the body. Just breathing into the back. Okay, from here, let's come through a few more spinal rolls. So option one is to come forwards and then come back into tabletop. And then just do a couple of cat-cows here. So as you inhale, lengthening and arching as you open the front of the body, and as you exhale, rounding under as you open up through the back. Option 2 is to stay in dog, and then you roll forwards into your plank, so you're unrolling the spine, and then you come into plank. When you come into plank, bend the knees, widen the hips, and arch the hips back into down dog. So find your option here, either tabletop and cat-cow, or doing your down dog, unrolling to plank, and then arching back into dog. Do one more here. So if you're doing from down dog to plank, rather than hinging the hips, so we're not kind of collapsing the hips like this, we're rolling the spine. So from down dog, you lift your heels, sorry. Imagine the knees sliding up the thighs as you roll, tuck the pelvis under and unroll your spine into plank. Then you hold your plank, drawing hands in towards the knees, into the feet, and then you bend the knees, and then you push the belly back towards the hips as you arch it back. So do one for me, Sharon, so I can see what you're doing. So, or just coming into tabletop and cat-cow. If you're in cat-cow, maybe tuck your toes under and then feel a little bit more stretch across the body. Okay, let's do one more here, and then we're going to come back into, come through either plank or coming through knees, chest, and chin, and we're going to come into Sphinx. So from here, shoulders away from the ears, dropping the chest, and then sliding yourself through, drawing the elbows underneath the shoulders, 10 toenails on the ground, lengthen out through your toes, and then inhale, draw a line of breath from the toes all the way out through the spine, to the crown of the head. Inhale, breathing into the heart. As you exhale, keep rolling the tops of your thighs in towards each other, rolling the tailbone back towards the floor, engaging your transverse abdominis or your TVA band from hip to hip, winding that back towards the bum. And then lengthening from the pelvic floor, lifting up, belly hugging into the spine, drawing the chest forwards in between the shoulders, widen through your shoulder girdle, slide your shoulders back down away from the ears, ground into your elbows and draw your elbows back towards your hips as you keep reaching the heart forwards. So we feel a nice stretch through the kidneys and the adrenals at the back, a nice stretch through the front of the body, through your hips, your abdomen and your chest, but you're feeling a squeeze through your kidneys and adrenals at the back. No crunching in the lower back. Keep reaching the heart forwards, breathing in. As you exhale, maybe rolling the tailbone under TVA back. Maybe you can lift a little bit higher. Okay, option just to stay here. So we're feeling that nice squeezing at the back. And otherwise, maybe keep everything nice and active through your core. Maybe turning your head to the side and looking over your shoulder at your heel behind you. So you're just going a little bit deeper on one side. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale back to center, exhale to the second side. Make sure there's no crunching in the lower back. Inhale, exhale back to the first side. Keep the TVA rolling under. Inhale, exhale, second side. Keep reaching the heart forwards, drawing the elbows back towards, grounding the elbows into the mat and drawing them to the hips. And last one on each side. Inhale and then exhale to the second side. Right, let's come back in. Exhale, bring the chest down, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's fall back into child's pose or down dog. So inhaling up, exhale, roll yourself back and stretching out across your back, either in child's pose or down dog. Keep the weight pushing back into the hips. So if down dog's not that comfortable, come into child's pose first, just to stretch your back out. So come back down onto your knees and then push back into the hips, maybe swaying the hips from side to side. Keeping the belly hugging into the spine, hip creases wide. Okay, and then if you're in down child's pose, roll up into tabletop. If you're in down dog, let's roll forwards and then restack yourself into tabletop. Coming up onto all fours now, wrist underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Okay, let's take our right leg and our left arm back. So I'm mirroring here, so I'm opposite to you guys, and then extending it out into a pointer. Okay, reaching as far as you can, and then notice how the body wants to twist. So draw your shoulder back into its socket, and then draw your hip back. So squaring the body here, lengthening out as you inhale. Keep the core active. As we exhale, we're going to round. So we're going to bring the elbow to the knee, chin to the throat, and lifting through the belly. Inhale, lengthen it out. Engage the core, squaring your torso to the mat. Exhale, 90 degrees, cactus frog. So bend the knee, bring the elbow out to the side in line with your shoulder, knees in line with hip. Inhale, extend it out. Coming into our toe taps. So exhale, squeeze the glutes, reach around, maybe tap your toes, or you can just go to reach. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, rounding and curling, lifting through the belly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to 90. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, tap the back foot. Squeeze the glutes. One more here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, 90. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale and tap. All right, inhale, lengthen it back out. Exhale to 90, and then bring your right foot out. Toes are in line with knee. So you're coming into this position here. All right, bring your hands down, maybe a little bit closer in, and you're going to bend into that knee. And then from here, make sure the weight is on your kneecap of your left foot, so it's not on the knee joint. And then we're just gently circling the hips. Good morning, Catherine. So we're just coming into a little bit of hip flossing here. So your right leg is out by the side in line with the knee, keeping the toes on the ground. And then you can start to bend into that knee as we gently start to floss our hips. We're drawing circles and lifting out of the pelvis. So all the weight's in your core. Keep that right knee bent. So don't lock that right knee, Sharon. Bend into your right knee. So we're mobilizing the knee. We're mobilizing the hip joint, we're mobilizing the knee as well as the ankle here. And then circling back the other way. And breathing into the hips. Okay, from here, gently drawing the hips back and forth a few times. And you can continue with the circles if that feels good. Otherwise, maybe bringing that left foot in slightly and now coming into child's pose variations. So that right leg is still straight, and then you're folding back into the hips, and then maybe resting the forehead and just taking a couple of nice deep breaths here, just enjoying that nice stretch on the inside of that right leg. Just breathing into wherever you're feeling the stretch, maybe in the inside of that leg, maybe in your back. Okay, when you're ready, slowly come back up. Realign your knee, realign your hands, and then inhale, bring yourself up. Okay, so we've realigned that knee, so your knee is now stacked underneath your hip. Your toes are in line with that knee. From here, relax your right hand onto your thigh with no weight there, so it's just resting. Take the left hand up to the sky. Inhale, lengthening up, shoulders away from the ears, and then exhale, just reaching across, and then starting to open the ribs, opening up through that top elbow, opening through the chest. As you exhale, maybe reaching a little bit further across. If it feels okay, maybe opening and winding your ribs upwards, winding through the neck, throat, and then drawing the eye gaze up towards the sky. All right, let's use our core. Inhale back up, roll the shoulder down. From here, we're going to exhale, widen out through that hip. Bend your knee a little bit if you need to, and then melt forwards over that right leg. So just taking some nice deep breaths here. And just breathing into the back of that leg, breathing into the back of the body. Okay, so now let's start to lift through the core, bring your hands out, and it's like we're tracing a little circle, but you're lifting out through your belly and your chest. So by engaging one side, the other side open. So we're lifting through the front of the body as we get a really nice stretch and opening as we trace our hands across towards the other side. Bring your left hand in line with your knee now. And then underneath the shoulder, I'm going to take the right hand up to the sky. Inhale, opening here. Extending up through those top fingertips. And then if it feels okay, maybe reach that top hand across in line with that other heel. Keep the belly hugging in, maybe starting to wind your heart open towards the sky. So you should feel a really nice stretch on that right side of the right hip, abdomen. Right, let's hug the belly in using our core. Now we're going to come up into our dragon twist. So we're inhaling, take both hands up. As you exhale, you're twisting towards your right. Your right hand comes back behind you and then extending out through the fingertips. Both palms are facing up and you're pushing the heavens away. Shoulders are down in their sockets. So from the side, I look like this. Okay, so keep the spine nice and tall, belly hugging in, and you're winding from the ribs as you extend out through that back arm. Keep that arm in line with the shoulder, pushing the heavens in our dragon twist. All right, from here, we're going to transition to the second side. So we're going to inhale, take both hands up. As you exhale, just turn to the other side and then come into your same twist on the other side. So your left hand is now reaching back. Palm is in line with the shoulder. Eye gaze into the back fingertips. Belly hugging into the spine as you twist from the ribs, opening up through that left side of the chest. Inhale back to center. Hold your ball. Exhale, widen through the hips and then melt yourself forwards again over that right leg. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Perhaps on the second round, might feel a little bit more open, maybe being able to melt that a little bit further. Okay, start to lift through the core, taking the hands, tracing our hands in a little semicircle, and then bringing that left hand, option 1, it's in line with the knee. Option 2, maybe bring it back in line with your heel. Okay, and then lifting out of the ribs, squeezing the glutes, and then opening up here. So opening into your wild thing. Keep pushing the hips back up towards the sky. Getting that nice opening up through that right hip. And then from here, use your core. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Holding your ball. And then above your head. Exhale, we're twisting towards the right into our dragon twist. Belly hugs into the spine. Keep pushing that top hand back up towards the sky. Like you're trying to lift the heavens. Top palm is above the crown. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the second side. So both palms facing up. Both fingertips pointing to the back. Inhale back. Last one here. So we're holding a ball above our head. Belly hugs in. Folding at the hips. Melting down. Take a couple of breaths here. And start to engage your core. And then winding yourself around. And so once again, you can bring your hand in line with your knee, in line with the foot. And maybe tuck the back toes under, maybe grab the back heel or grabbing the back heel without the toes. And then squeeze the glutes and extending the left arm up or back. Opening up here. So make sure there's no pinching through the, or collapse through the bottom part of the body. We want to stay nice and active. Support everything and opening up through the front. All right, hug the belly in. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Hold your ball above your head, coming into our dragon twist. Exhale to the right. Keep lengthening the spine. Keep pulling your belly in towards the spine as you wind. The ribs open. Hand. Belly hugs in. Inhale back. Exhale to the second side. Keep extending out through those back fingertips. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, release your hands. Release the foot. And then just come into disco cat. Come into a little bit of free fall movement here. Making some little figure eights with your body. Maybe some little spirals. And just breathing in. Checking in with the body. Notice how you feel. Maybe some little circles with the head or shaking out from side to side. Keeping the tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth behind the 2 front teeth. Okay, when you're ready, draw the bum back towards the heels, bring the knees together, stack one fist on top of the other, and then resting the forehead onto the fist. Take a couple of breaths here in your nice restorative child, keeping the spine long, elbows are in, so everything's nicely contained, and tip of the tongue resting on the roof of the mouth behind the 2 front teeth. Just breathing into the body, checking in, notice how you're feeling. Noticing any subtle changes, blood or energy flowing, and just breathing into it and letting everything assimilate. And when you're ready, option to hang out in child's pose or option for a flow. So if you like, we can bring the hands out. Maybe stretch out into open child. Option to roll forwards, planking on the knees. Maybe tuck the toes under. Maybe exhale back into down dog. And then perhaps coming through your flow, either through your chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Just opening the heart. or hanging out in child's pose. And when you're ready, after down dog, if you're stretching out through your flow, let's meet back in tabletop. So rolling forwards, coming back into tabletop, restacking the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Okay, let's come onto the second side. So keep the core nice and active. Try to keep the hips level. Taking the left foot this time and right hand, extending it out. Okay, so lengthening all the way from the fingertips up to the toes, drawing the belly in towards the spine, lower ribs towards the hips. Maybe cross-link across your body for the back from the bottom of your right shoulder to the top of your left glutes, and then feel that band activate and lift the core a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rounding. Belly to spine, elbow to knee, chin to throat. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, come into your 90 degrees, cactus frog. Drawing the elbow out to the side, knee to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, reach around, tap the back foot. And inhale, lengthen. Even if you can't reach, that's all right. It's just the foot that counts. Exhale, rounding, lifting the belly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to 90. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, tap the foot, maybe draw the eye gaze up. And then one more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, 90. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze and tap. All right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to 90. Extend the foot out, bring the foot down, bring the hands down. So now we're in this position with that leg extended out to the side. Okay, bring our hands a little closer in, making sure we're bending into that knee now, and then we're just gently circling the hips. And once again, making sure that you're on your right kneecap, not the knee joint. And so just breathing in to the hips, into the pelvis area. Mobilizing the knee and the ankle. And then circling it back the other way. So as we gently circle, perhaps you can feel each time you can go a little bit deeper without pushing. And just breathing into it. And then from there, maybe just gently starting to draw the hips back and forth. And so you might find within your body different ways of coming in. So sometimes it might feel tight some days if you're just sliding back, but you might find that when you come from an angle, from a nice big circle, you might be able to get the bum further back towards the heels. So everyone's body's different, and sometimes we feel different on different days. Okay, let's bring the heel in, that right heel in a little bit, and then bring yourself back into child's pose variations. So whatever feels good. So sometimes if it's not, as I said before, if it's not good to slide, you might find that by coming in a semicircle, you might be able to get a little bit deeper into the shape. And let's take some nice deep breaths here. Relax the forehead. So if the hips don't come all the way back, that's all right as well. So sometimes you might look like this, and that's fine. And just as long as you're getting a nice stretch. All right, let's gently start to come back up. So from this position, walk your hands back in, use your core to lift you back up. Realign that foot and knee. Inhale, bring yourself up. So now our right knee is underneath our hip. Bring your left hand just to rest on the thigh. Take the right hand to the sky. Inhale, lengthening from hip to fingertips. Exhale, roll the shoulders away from the ears into their sockets. Inhale, lengthen as we exhale, just gently reaching across and just getting that nice opening from your hip, sideways, opening the ribs, opening the chest. Bottom hand is just resting. There is no weight there on that bottom hand. Starting to wind the neck and throat to draw the eye gaze towards the sky. All right, let's use the core. Inhale, come up. Exhale, widening across the hip crease. Bend the knee if you need to. And melting forwards. Taking a few nice deep breaths here. Just breathing into wherever you might feel the stretch. Maybe some somatic movement if it feels good. Okay, when you're ready, let's lift through the core. Take the hands out in front, and then we're tracing a circle using the front of the body to move us. And bring your right hand in line with the knee underneath the shoulder. Inhale, left hand reaches up to the sky, opening up across the chest, extending the energy and the fingertips upwards. So have your palm straight up, your fingers straight up, and then if it feels good, exhale, reach that hand out across past your head. So you feel that opening from that left heel all the way out across that left side of the body, out into the fingertips. Maybe start to lift up through the back of the heart, winding the heart towards the sky. All right, let's use the core. Inhale, come up, holding a ball above our head. Exhale, we twist towards the left, and then both palms facing up. Top palm is pushing in line with your crown, pushing the heavens away. Create space there, and as you exhale, hug the belly in as you wind, open your ribs on the left side, extending out through your fingertips. Keep the belly hugging in, eye gaze into the backhand. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, second side. Keep the spine tall. Bring that back arm in line with the shoulder if it's accessible. And reaching out, belly hugs in. Inhale, back to center. Hold your ball. Exhale, widen through the hips and then melting down. Once again, bend into that knee if it feels a little bit tight. And just breathing into wherever you're feeling the stretch. Okay, lifting through the core and then gently starting to walk the hands around. Right hand can come once again in line with the knee or in line with the heel. And then lifting up. So option one, hand goes straight to the sky, like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Option two, reach that hand out and the head and open the chest to the sky. Make sure you're wrapping that bottom shoulder underneath, squeezing your glutes and lifting through the hips so we're not feeling crunching through the bones. That shoulder is nice and supported. All right, let's come back up. Use your core. Inhale yourself back up. Hold your ball. Exhale, twisting towards the left. Coming into your dragon twist here. Keep the belly hugging in. Doing that nice opening up. Belly hugs in. Inhale back up. Exhale to the second side. Rolling the shoulders back down away from the ears. Winding the ribs open. Inhale back. Exhale, widen the hips. And then melting to the side. And then lifting the core and then gently starting to walk our hands across. Coming either right hand in line with knee, in line with heel, or coming into your half camel here. Squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips, and reaching back. Beautiful opening through the front of the side of your body. Keep hugging your belly in towards the spine. Extending up through those fingertips of your left hand. And then hug the belly in. Inhale, come back up. Hold your ball. Exhale, let's twist towards the left. Keeping the belly hugging in. Pushing the heavens up. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back. Okay. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step that foot in and then just come into a little bit of free form movement here. Maybe little circles with the hips. One way, other way. Maybe some little figure eights through the body. Whatever feels good. Just keep breathing in. Keeping the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth. Check in with the body. Notice how you're feeling. And then when you're ready, slowly come back into your restorative child, bringing the bum towards the heels. Bring the toes together, knees together, stacking the opposite fist on top, and then resting the forehead onto the fists. Spine is long, shoulders are relaxed. And tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Just breathing into the body. Just allowing the breath and the energy to return to normal. And especially flooding the back of the body through your kidneys and adrenals where we've been squeezing. Okay, when you're ready, let's gently transition back into open child, bringing the hands out, resting the forehead, rounding back into the hips, maybe a gentle sway of the hips from side to side, widening the shoulders, sliding those shoulders back down away from the ears into their sockets, and then rolling your armpits back in towards the mat. And then maybe drawing the lower ribs back in like a butterfly clip. So we're engaging through the front of the body. Maybe feel that a little bit more opening across your back when you engage the front. And then from here, let's roll ourselves forwards, planking on the knees. Tuck your toes under, exhale, slide up into down dog. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And stretching out in down dog, where the chest feels a little bit more open. So ground into the hands, spread the fingers wide as you inhale, drawing energy from the earth up through the palms of the hands, up through the arms, up through the back. And as you exhale, send that breath and energy down through the backs of the legs. Think about melting belly to thighs. Okay, three-legged cat or three-legged dog. If down dog is comfortable, stay in down dog and we take one leg back. If that's not comfortable this morning, come back into tabletop and do it from three-legged cat. Okay, so we take one leg, and then when you come around, you can, when we come into fallen star, you can bring knee to elbow, bring that knee down, and then lift the back knee to come into wild thing. Okay, so find your option here. Let's take the left leg. Inhale, extending your left foot back. Three-legged cat or three-legged dog. Okay, so start with a square hip. So your heel only comes as high as your bum. And then now open the hip up. Bend that top knee, square the shoulders. Trace a circle with the knee, feeling the top of the thigh bone in its socket, so it's a nice controlled motion. Then exhale, come forwards. Tap the knee to the same side to your elbow or armpit. Belly hugs into the spine. Lift through your core. Inhale, extending that foot back. Open the hip, bend the knee, square the shoulders, trace a circle, belly hugs into the spine as we roll forwards, knee comes to the opposite elbow. Okay, hold it here. Option one, if you're in tabletop, bring that knee down and then lift your back knee, come onto the knife edge of your foot. If you're in dog, stick that foot, bring that foot out and then lift, bring the back heel down, lift out of your shoulder, lift out of your hip, take your right hand to the sky. Exhale, maybe reach that top hand forwards. If you're in your fallen triangle, try to get the toes of your front left foot down onto the floor and wind the chest towards the sky. Keep wrapping that bottom shoulder underneath so it's nice and supported. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, foot goes back. Three-legged, open hip, bend the knee, square the shoulders, trace a circle here. Roll forwards, bring your knee to the nose or the forehead. We lift that back heel and then look in between your hands, step your foot forwards. Okay, from here, option one, come onto your back knee. Inhale, come up. I'll give the second option in a moment once we've done this on one side on each, one time on each side. Relax the shoulders and hold a big ball of energy above the head. So we're just, okay, we're gonna come into a twist now. So push into your big toe pad of your front foot, engage your quads so this front knee isn't rolling, collapsing inwards. And then squeeze your glutes so our hips stay the square towards the short end of the mat. As we exhale, we're going to twist towards the left and then roll your ball back. Keep your belly hugging into the spine, squeezing your glutes. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Keep your right hip rolling forward so your hips stay square to the front as you twist your body towards the left and then maybe rolling it back, squeezing the glutes. Inhale, back up. We do two more here. So option one is to stay on your knee if you're finding that, make sure that front knee and ankle are stacked so we're not doing this too much. Okay, but we want to try to get that. Otherwise, come into high lunge and do two more here. So lifting the back heel. I'll come and face you guys. So we want to lift that back heel, right? And make sure that your back foot is not wobbling, sort of collapsing inwards. Belly hugs in. Exhale, twist to the left. Roll it back. Keep pushing to the big toe pad of your front foot. Inhale back to center. Exhale that second side. Roll it back. Keep the hips square to the front. Inhale back. Don't let that back heel collapse in. Last one. Exhale. Inhale, roll it back. As you exhale, keep rolling the tailbone under. Inhale back. And last one here. Exhaling to the right. Rolling it back. As you exhale, keep rolling the tailbone under, lifting up through that left side of the body. And then inhale back to center. Okay, if you are on your back knee now, come off the back knee. Exhale, open yourself into warrior two. Okay, so have your front foot in line now with the arch of your back foot. Spread the toes nice and wide and then grip into the earth. So see what I'm doing with my hands? Imagine you're doing that with your feet. Spread the toes and grip it in. Little octopus feet, like your suction cups. You're creating suction cups with the feet. So all the outer edges are touching and you're sucking up through the arches and then pushing that back edge of the back foot down. Suck up through the inside arch, suck your knee into the thigh. Roll the tailbone under and then squeeze the glutes, wind that front thigh outwards so your front knee is reaching out to the left-hand corner of your mat. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, and then extend a beautiful long line of energy from fingertip to fingertip. Draw your eye gaze over the front fingertips. Let's take 3 breaths here. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, soften through your shoulders, ground and sink into your legs a little bit. So keep that legs really active and maybe bring that front thigh parallel to the ground. Okay, from here, we're going to take the left hand to face forwards now. Your right hand is going to come behind you like you're taking a bow and arrow. Take that bow and arrow and then load it up, pull it back. Okay, you can make a little pointer, like a little gun with your front hand. From here, so the front fingertips are reaching out and the back hand is pulling back. So you're feeling that opening across the chest. You're feeling that opening through those ribs on your right side as you keep reaching that back elbow back. Keep that back elbow in line with your shoulder. Okay, so you're feeling that arm working. From here, we're going to reach it up and then maybe just look at your target, whatever it is you want to achieve. And then when you're ready, release the arrow. Release the back hand, take the front hand, and then scoop it up into your sun warrior. Opening those front ribs. Keep that front knee bent. If you like, take that back hand now and bring it around so you're holding a ball. Okay, we're going to exhale, roll it forwards. So you're holding that ball and you're rolling it forward slowly. Okay, let's do 2 more here. As we inhale, we're going to slowly roll it back. So we're holding a ball of energy that we're inhale, rolling back as you keep opening through those top ribs. As you exhale, you're still holding the ball the whole way as we roll it forwards. Okay, and then 1 more here. Inhale, rolling it back. Opening that top elbow and then exhale it forwards. Okay, from here we keep holding our ball. We just bring our body up. Okay, so your right hand is on top, your left hand is on the bottom. Okay, option 1 is to step your feet out into warrior 1. Option 2, you stay in warrior 2, and this bottom hand now is going to slide out from your heart. You're going to push both palms up, back heel comes up, and you're going to come into your dragon twist, keeping the belly hugging into the spine. So this is the same twist we did before, and either take your feet hip width or come into high lunge. Keep the belly hugging in and then winding the ribs open, extending out through that back hand. Inhale, take both hands back to the center. Exhale, come into your goddess pose or horse stance. All right, from here. So in more traditional yoga, we try to get our feet in one line in our goddess. We're going to come into horse stance today. So we're going to bring the feet you can bring your feet pointing forward and sit into your legs, or you can have your feet a little angled out, knees in line with your second toe. Okay, so just find what's a comfortable position that feels comfortable for your knees, but keep your pelvic floor active and then keep your glutes active. And we want to try to sink so that we are in a position where you're trying to get your thighs parallel with the ground. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, hold your ball. Okay, from here, ground into your feet. So if you need to, you can bring your feet facing forwards a little bit. And then we're going to take the ball and we're going to inhale it up. And as you exhale, you're coming down. Belly hugs in. Inhaling up, exhaling down. One more. Okay, we come back up and then we're going to go the other way. So we're exhaling down, hold your ball. Inhaling up. Keep the legs working. Last one. All right. Come back up. Exhale, bring the ball down. Straighten the legs. Inhale, arms, take the heels out. Exhale, come into your straddle forward fold. Take a couple of breaths here. Rest your hands underneath the shoulders. Bend the knees a little bit if you need to. Just check in with the body. Notice how you feel. If you like, you can bend the elbows and rest your elbows underneath the shoulders and just take a couple of breaths here. Okay. When you're ready, let's inhale, come up halfway. So if you're facing the front, like Catherine, if you're doing straight along the mat, walk back to the front side. If you're like me, where you're facing sideways, we're going to walk across to the other side and we're going to come through our flow, coming back, step the foot back. So Catherine, just come back to the front of your mat because you're facing forwards. Some of you guys who are facing sideways like me, come back onto the second side. So we'll be facing each other in our warrior and then come through your flow. Opening the heart, and then exhale, fold back, and we'll meet in down dog. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here, stretching out across the back, and walking out through the legs. Maybe shake your head from side to side, nod it up and down. All right, when you're ready, let's do the second side. Three-legged cat or three-legged dog. Come back into tabletop if you need to. Otherwise, stay in down dog. Take the right leg and then inhale, extend that right foot back. Now let's open the hip up, bending that top knee, square the shoulders. Feel the big thigh bone in its socket, so it's a nice, smooth, controlled motion. See if you can make a big circle. And then tracing a circle, belly hugs in, come forwards, knee to same side, elbow, armpit lifting through the core. Inhale, extend that foot back. Open the hip, bend the knee, square the shoulders, trace a circle, belly hugs in, knee to opposite side, hold it here. Okay, wild thing or fallen stars. So if you're in dog, you extend the foot out, back heel comes down, toes come down and lift. If you're in tabletop, knee comes down, back knee lifts, back heel down. Everyone, your left heel should be on the floor. And then opening up. Maybe starting, if you're in your fallen triangle, roll your toes of your front foot down to the floor. Maybe reach that left top hand out a little bit further. And maybe open the heart towards the sky. Exhale, bring the hand back down. Inhale, foot goes back. Open the hip. Bend the knee, square the shoulders. Trace a circle, belly hugs in, roll forwards, knee to nose or forehead. Look in between your hands, step your foot forwards, come onto your back knee. Inhale, come up. All right, so start with low lunge. We'll do one on each side. So here we want to make sure that our hips stay square to the front. So sometimes when we twist to this side, the whole body opens. So when you twist to the open side, keep that hip rolling forwards. Pushing into the big toe pad of your front foot, squeezing the glutes. Exhale, belly hugs in, twisting towards your right, and then rolling it back. Squeezing the glutes, and then hug the belly in. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Roll it back. Inhale, back up. All right, option to stay here or come up into your high lunge. So if you're high lunging, lift that back heel. So make sure that heel doesn't wobble down, okay? So the whole lower body is nice and active. And then as you exhale, twisting to your right, roll it back. Opening up through the ribs. Inhale back. Exhale, second side. Roll it back. Make sure there's no pinching in the lower back. Make sure that front knee is not rolling inwards. Last one. Exhale as we twist. Inhale as we roll back. As you exhale, keep deepening. And then inhale back to center. And last one here. Roll it back. And then inhale back up. Exhale, open to warrior two. Align the feet. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Sink down into the legs. So make those legs really nice and active. Grounding down, extending a beautiful line of energy from fingertip to fingertip. With the arms, relax the shoulders, eye gaze forwards. Okay, take your left hand now. Go and grab an arrow from behind you. Load it up. Pull it back. So really try to, like you're trying to touch that front wall in front of you with your left hand, with your right hand, sorry, and that opening the chest, reaching that left elbow back. Okay, start to draw the arrow up. Find your target. Release, shoot it, get a bullseye, and then when you're ready, release that back hand. Take that top hand up. Hold your ball here. Exhale, rolling forwards. So make it a really nice, smooth transition. You're holding the ball the entire time, like moving underwater. That bottom hand's not resting on the thigh, it's just kind of floating in midair. Inhale, rolling it back. Ripping into the earth, feeling your legs are really nicely grounded like trees, roots into the earth. Exhale it forwards. Keep opening that top shoulder, sliding those bottom ribs under. And then last one. Inhaling back. And exhaling forwards. All right, let's hold your ball here. Inhale yourself back up. So your left hand is still on top. And then from here, we start to take that hand, we slide it out as you lift the back heel, push both palms up, and then hug the belly in. Let's extend your right hand back. Eye gaze into the back fingertips. Come back in. Hold your ball. And come back into center, coming into our horse stance or our goddess pose. So keep squeezing the glutes and then winding the thighs open. So we want to open those knees out to the side. Okay, from here, release your ball. Bring your hands onto your inner thighs. Okay, and then try to bring the hips a little bit lower. Yeah, and then widen out through your shoulders. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to push your right knee as you look over your left shoulder, feeling that nice stretch out across the back. Keep hugging the belly into the spine. And hug the belly in as you inhale back. Exhale to the other side. So keep opening the hips at the same time. Maybe bringing the shoulders closer towards the knee. Inhale back. Exhale back to the first side. Inhale back. Exhale second side. And one more on each side. Winding everything open. Winding out through the elbows. Extending out through the elbows. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale second side. Inhale back up. Come back up. Bring the heels out. Exhale, come back into your straddle forward fold, resting the hands either underneath your shoulders or your elbows underneath the shoulders. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Spread the toes and the feet nice and wide. Spread the palms nice and wide, feeling that connection into the earth. Okay, when you're ready, let's start to inhale, bring the hands up, take the arms around. Okay. Let's start to bring the feet in. So walk your toes, your heels in, sorry, come into your goddess for a moment. So keep winding the thighs open, squeeze your glutes, squeeze the outer thighs, keep the pelvic floor active. Push into the feet, come back up, toes in, heels in, sink maybe into your squat. You might need to bring the feet a little closer in, or wherever's comfortable, lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, pelvic floor stays active. Push into the feet, inhale back up. Toes in, heels in. Feet are now hip width. Okay, and then we're coming into our chair pose. So first, bring the arms up, shoulders away from the ears, weight on the heels, so sinking down into our chair. Okay, from here, transition the weight into your toes. If you need to, bring your hands forward, and otherwise keep your hands in goalposts, and then lifting the heels. Keep lifting up through the inner ankle. Okay, push into the feet, inhale. Exhale, release the heels, release the hands. Last one, toes in, heels in, feet are together now. And then coming back into chair. First start it with the weight on the heels. So lifting up. And then from here, shift the weight forwards. Maybe bring the hands forwards or keep the arms up as you lift up through the heels. All right, come back up. Exhale, release the heels, release the hands. Take a couple of breaths here. Lengthening the spine, relax the shoulders. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth. Okay, from here, just bring your toes out, heels out, so your feet are hip width now. Take the arms out to the sides and imagine you're holding two doorknobs. Okay, so now we're going to start to do a little bit more spinal articulation, but this time you're going to feel it from your arms. So imagine that your hands are holding the doorknobs to heaven and you're opening it up. As you start to open, you feel that winding from your wrists, and that winds open all the way up, and it continues to wind, and you can feel that winding into your heart. So you're opening and back bend, coming into an arch here, but you're widening out across the shoulders. As you exhale, you start to wind those doorknobs back in, and that's going to create a rounding through your back. Okay, so it's like what we do all the time, but except usually that comes from that line of the spine. So right now, just changing it up a little bit. Start to inhale as you turn the doorknobs back. Feel that opening up through the heart. Feel like you're pulling your wrists apart. And then as you exhale, winding it forwards as you wind through all the meridians in your arms, as you wind open through the upper back. Lift up through the chest. 3 more breaths here. So feeling that connection and just keeping the belly hugging into the spine as you arch. So there's no pinching in your lower back. And last one. Okay, when you're ready, release. Hands, come back into center and just let everything shake out. Take a few breaths here, lengthening the spine, relax the shoulders, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the two front teeth. Maybe ladies, I'm not mirroring, bring your left hand over to the top of your right and then stack it on the spot 3 fingers below your belly button. So 3 fingers below your belly button is the center point of your body. If you drew a line from the tip of your head to the tip of the toes, it's also known as our kunda or our lower tandien or our hara. So we also have energy centers in the palms of our hands, the pericardium point where you can feel things. So we want to stack those 3 centers. And ladies, bring the left over the right. So it's because we are yang within the yin. So as in our vessels are yin. So, and if you're a gentleman watching this, bring your right hand over your left. Otherwise, whatever feels right if you're non-binary, and whatever you identify with. Okay, lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders, keep the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, soften the knees, and then just taking a couple of nice deep breaths here. Breathing into that center, and as you exhale, feel the breath and energy descending back down through your big toe pads and into the earth. Okay. Grounding the energy. Okay, let's bring the hands out now. So I'm going to bring one hand around your heart, the other hand at your lower belly. Okay, breathing in. As you exhale, you're going to turn the palms away. You're pushing the heavens and the earth away, and then you inhale through the sides, and then you bring everything back in, but we're swapping the hands around. And then we exhale, pushing away. Bring the hands along the sides, and then come back in. We're just stirring the energy. Exhale. Inhale back. And exhale, push out. Bring it back in. Let's do a couple more here. And just softening the movement, softening the hands, softening the fingers, the elbows, the shoulders. So you can feel that energy moving in between your hands and your fingers. All right. And then from here, just bring everything back into that spot, 3 fingers below the belly button. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders. Just taking a couple of nice deep breaths here. Keep pushing into your big toe pad, or toe pads for balance. Okay, and then let's finish off with 5 gathering breaths. So we're just going to take the hands to the sides. You can step back a little bit. As you inhale, you take the arms along the sides, and then at the top, you push your palms up as if you're gathering into the universe. You're reaching out into the universe. You're gathering in all that beautiful life force and energy. And then as you exhale, you bring the palms facing down. Maybe close down your eyes and start to visualize yourself in your mind's eye, like this beautiful luminous egg of light and energy surrounding your physical body. So it's like we're kind of cleaning out through your aura. So you might feel guided to maybe comb it out, like almost like you're combing out tangles in your hair, or you might feel like, oh, you want to massage some of this beautiful golden or white light or energy into any areas that you feel you need. And so just maybe closing down the eyes, especially when we are bringing the energy down, and just allow the breathing to return to normal as you massage and comb that energy through your field. And then you gently bring it back towards your lower Tian. And then when we come to open again, we're in our yang state, so our eyes are open. As you take the hands up, inhaling. At the top of your inhalation, reach out, eyes are wide as we gather the energy. And then as you bring it back in, soften the eye gaze or close the eyes as you bring your awareness into a very introspective state, as you observe how you are feeling within your little energy circle or sphere, and then massaging in all that beautiful life force and pranic energy into your body. And you might just feel where your hands might be guided to go, where you might need some extra energy, or where you might want to comb something out. And then time once you're back at the lower Tian, we'll do 3 more here. So inhaling, eyes are nice and wide and open as we gather from the universe. And then once you bring it back into your egg of energy, softening the eye gaze or closing the eyes. Keep everything nice and relaxed so you can be in your receptive yin state to fully absorb all that energy that you are gathering from the universe. Just massaging that into your field, wherever you feel that you need it. Bring it back to your lower Tian. Just do 2 more here. So as you inhale, moving with your own breath. Eyes are wide, gathering. And as you exhale, soften everything. Softening the knees, softening the shoulders. Inside, roll in. And just do 1 more here. Inhale and gathering. Exhale and absorbing. You might see areas that you might feel in your body with your hands, areas that need attention, and it might be different on different days. All right, let's finish off bringing the hands back to the lower Tian. Ladies, lift hand over right. If any gentlemen watching as a replay, gentlemen, put your right over the left. Lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, keep the knees soft, and tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth behind the 2 front teeth, lengthening out through the crown of the head, and then sort of lengthening the tailbone back towards the floor so our spine's nice and tall. Okay, just absorb that energy into that center, and we're just going to finish off with 9 spirals. So from that center point, you're just going to gently spiral it out with your hands. You inhale as you come up, exhale as you come down, and then we make those spirals progressively bigger until our hands are at our solar plexus. Then we breathe in, and then as we exhale, we spiral everything back to that center. So just stirring the cauldron and just integrating and absorbing all the energy that we have been working with. So breathing in, and then as you breathe in, bring the hands up. As you exhale, pushing the hands down. Try to feel that warmth in your hands and the energy. Then your 9, breathing into the solar plexus, and then spinning your spiral back the other way. Your back at the lower Tandian, lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and just absorbing that energy there. And when you feel it's nicely absorbed, then you can slowly blink the eyes open. And then we're going to step our left foot in towards the right. And then from here, we'll just bring the hands into prayer. All right, thank you, everyone. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Any questions or feedback, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy your day, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, bye.